The stories that never get told.
Clyde, as you know, recently we had on our good friend Billy Ayers, and of course, this wonderful award winning songwriter and artist and master educator is doing some wonderful work with children using his created technique of improvisational integrated music and drama to help so many children with special needs. And tonight, our program is going to be based on that program. We're going to be talking to Billy some more about all the great work he's doing going forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him on, Mr. Billy Ayers.
Some chances are born to recognize, and the moon dances never in disguise. One time, one day, I wanna feel where I belong. Just one time I pray for just a chance that I can sing my song. Can I be the person I was always meant to be? Will I care the way that only I was meant to care? Will I even see the chance that I might understand? Can I be the person I was always meant to be? Somewhere love is playing so wonderful, and it needs no invitation to proceed. Love can conquer any lonely fear, and complexities are end, and illusions disappear. Can I be the person I was always meant to be? Can I love the way that only I was meant to love? Can I even see the things that I was meant to see? Can I be the person I was always meant to be? Meant to be.
Welcome back, everybody. We're with Billy Ayers, our guest, and we are into the job that Mr. Ayers has done with this wonderful creation of a system that's reaching children of special needs using music and the arts. Billy, we used to talk when we taught our kids in the program we had about the 4 C's. After you get in touch with their talent and bring it forward, whatever that is, which you kind of had that similar thing, then it's about confidence, comfortable, so that you can create. And once you start to create, then you can collaborate with someone else. So the 4 C's was similar to what you're
Absolutely.
talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very, very. And it doesn't matter how you get there. You're getting there the same way as I am, and as long as you get there, But once you open the door to this or your technique, what you do is you create an environment that is non-judgmental, that is amazingly vibrant with knowing feelings when they walk in the door that this is created just for them. In other words, it's all about them.
You knocked it down that wall of fear.
Absolutely. So my favorite word, the traumatic brain injury survivors that I work with, that's a whole separate class. They taught me so much about how to approach, because I didn't know what we were going to do. And as an artist, that's sometimes the best scenario you have, because it's an open palette, it's a blank palette. And so my favorite comment when I would get to the class would, what are we doing today? So which was interesting, because, and that's my favorite question today. So I sing the hello song. Everybody walks in. I know everybody's name. I know every single person. I know what they are good at. I know what they can do. I know what they like. I know what songs they like. I know what songs they did last week. That is my passion, to connect with the person. So it's like, hello, we got to say hello. Hello, Andrew. Hey, Andrew, what's up? Hey. Hello, Clyde. Oh, did you bring your bass today, Clyde? Oh, you're going to do a little bass for us? Come on, baby. Here we go. Everybody say hello. So everybody gets the hello song, and everybody gets their name mentioned. So, and you have children who are nonverbal. You have 20-year-old, 21, 22, 23-year-old people who are nonverbal going like this when you say their name. Okay, so you're awakening something, and you're telling them you are important. You are profoundly important by your presence. You are important. You are, and then I say it to them because you have to say it. This is just for you. We do this because we love you and because we want to see your talent, and we want you to teach us how wonderful and how brilliant you are, and unlock talents that no one ever saw in you before. No one ever knew that you could do these things. So Andrew and Clyde, I have to tell you, we have over 14 of the 300 children and adults. We have over 14 people who do not speak,
Wow.
who sing.
Now, also,
Sing in the microphone. Some of which, what's that?
Billy, remember stutterers?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was very close to me because my uncle, Bill Withers, he was an intense stutterer, but he transcended that and went on to win 3 Grammy Awards and was nominated for 6 more. You also have Winston Churchill, James Earl Jones. They were all stutterers. So it is possible to transcend that if, like you said, you get the confidence and the right guidance.
Carly Simon.
You have turned children around who stuttered intensely, and now they can sing without stuttering at all, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes. There's one particular person, Michael, who has cerebral palsy, who stutters, and I showed him when Carly Simon was a very young person. Her family is Simon and Schuster, the publishers. Her mother used to stutter so badly that she couldn't even speak. And so her mother used to say, her mother was obviously a very smart person. She used to say, "Why don't you sing, honey, what you want to say to me?" So I used the same technique with Michael. I said, "Let me ask you a question." And you remember Mel Tillis, right?
Sure.
Andrew? So Mel Tillis, when he used to go on Johnny Carson, he was a severe stutterer,
Yes.
but a great country singer. And when he sang, he did not stutter. So there's something in the brain that enables a person. So this is applicable to people with special needs as well. Interesting. And I tried it, and it works. So do me a favor, Michael. I understand, but I don't want to look stupid. I said, okay, you don't want to look stupid. So let me ask you a question. Can you just sing this for me? I want to go to the bathroom. And he sings, I want to go to the bathroom without stuttering. I said, so what we're going to do is, he says, will you help me? He already knew what was coming. I said, sure. What we're going to do is we're going to sing it a little less and a little less. We want to go to the bathroom, and we're going to trick your brain into thinking you're still singing.
But they told me I'm meant to be faithful and nothing I hateful. And finally, when I know that you were.
Okay, so I said to a boy who's in a class who I have he's got autism, serious autism, and he's very electric, and he's always moving his hands, and he's always. I said, Paul, can you do me a favor? And he sings great at the microphone. The staff doesn't even know he sings. What do you mean, Billy? What do you mean? And of course, but that's my job. It's my job to uncover that. Okay, I said, oh, Paul's a great singer. He's a wonderful singer. And now he's got a big smile on his face because he hears me telling the staff what a great singer he is. So I said, Paul, can you do me a favor? Could you do me a big favor? And he's looking at me. I said, would you sing this for me? I gotta go to the bathroom. He says, I gotta go to the bathroom. I said, okay. And the staff his mouth just drops to the floor. Yeah. Because what you're seeing right there is that this person can talk.
Yes.
This person can talk. Now, it depends on whether society is willing to spend the time.
I don't remember not having one. You know, when I started as a kid, it was there. You know, you are and it's there. Or at least that was my case. The biggest part of it for me was people thought you were retarded or something. The most surprising thing is when grown-ups think it's funny when you're a kid. So just the size difference, when somebody's towering over you and they think they're funny and they go, spit it out, or something, you know. I don't remember feeling ashamed of my stutter. I remember feeling sorry for people who thought there was something wrong with me, you know. I felt sorry for them and sorry that they reacted to me that way. But I started to try to lessen the disparity in my opinion of myself and my opinion of everybody else. When I went back to my hometown, about 2001 or something, just at the turn of the century, I had been asked to give the commencement address at this college that had just turned into a university. And when I went to do it, there were actually people there that I grew up around who were there to remind me of my stutter. And my father had always wanted me to be this doctor. You know, he was a coal miner, but he wanted me to be this doctor. So in the process, they gave me an honorary doctorate. And I was smooth because my wife got me a nice suit. So that was my aha moment. That was fun for me, to go back to this place where everybody had laughed at me and thought that I was retarded and give the commencement speech at a university. Don't be ashamed that you do. Just try to make your life work for you. Also, if you stutter, learn to make allowances for people who don't understand. Don't hold it against them, because carrying that resentment around or resenting people who don't understand is a little heavy. So don't burden yourself with that. Just be.
Okay, so it's Stevie D, a wonderful, loving boy with Down syndrome. He comes to the class every week. he starts bringing Kermit the Frog to the class. This is one of the great stories of my life. He starts bringing Kermit the Frog to the class. So I said, Stevie, what are you doing with Kermit the Frog? And Stevie only says maybe 5 words. Oh, yeah. All right. There's another one. Hot mess. She's a hot mess. I said, she's a hot mess? Yeah. And the staff all laughs because Stevie's so cute. Stevie, what are you going to do with Kermit the Frog? Oh, Rainbow Connection. I said, the Rainbow Connection? I said, what, you going to sing it? Yeah. No sentence structure, no syntax. That's all you get when you ask him a question. 1-word answer. That's it. No real speech. Okay. So I get the music to the Rainbow Connection because I'm trying to listen. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to listen. I said, all right, Stevie, I got the music. You want to come up to... So he brings Kermit the Frog one week. He brings Kermit the Frog, and he's got a 1-to-1, which is a person who's specifically designated to work with him. So Mary Murdoch is this beautiful angel of a person. She comes up to the front, and I start to play the Rainbow Connection. And Stevie sings every single word of the song. She is in tears. Everybody's watching her, watching him, because it's more exciting to see her reaction to Stevie. Nobody thought this kid could sing. Nobody knew. Nobody, especially his 1-to-1, didn't know. So at the same virtual time as what this was going on, I was doing a benefit for the school I was working. I was working in a school for 9 years at the Westchester Exceptional Children's School for Linda Murphy, may she rest in peace, and Linda Zinn, who's a beautiful, amazing person who's now the principal there. So we were doing a benefit at Reader's Digest. And Christine Andreas, who is an amazing mezzo-soprano, who has a son with special needs who I've worked with for years, who I absolutely adore, Christine. She was the principal in the Scarlet Pimpernel on Broadway. She was in La Cage aux Folles with Kelsey Grammer. Okay, she's a mezzo-soprano. Forget about it. Unbelievable. Dynamo. And one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. So she's singing in the trio, and her piano player is this white guy with white hair, and he plays the piano like Oscar Peterson, who's my favorite piano player of all time. And he's amazing. And so we performed on the stage with the kids 2 songs. After the concert, she comes over to me. She says, Billy, my piano player, Kenny, wants to meet you. He can't believe how you work with these kids. He can't believe it. Just the way you were working with those 60 kids, right? Okay, so he comes up to me, and I said, wow, that's so nice to meet you. You are amazing. I said, you want to meet me? I said, you're an amazing piano player. You're unbelievable. I was listening to you all night. He says, I'd love to learn more about this. I have no idea about this whole world of special needs. Would you like to have lunch sometimes? And you know what? It's a whole world. Yeah. It's a whole world. He said, would you like to have lunch sometimes? I said, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. That was amazing. So I went to, his house was on Riverside Drive. I went to New York City. We had lunch on the street a few years ago. I started talking to him and realized this is a gift from heaven. I started realizing he's Kenny Asher. He's the guy who wrote the Rainbow Connection.
That's right.
And Stevie's singing the song in my class.
Right.
I said, wait a minute, you wrote the Rainbow Connection with Paul Williams? He says, yeah. I said, you're Kenny Asher? He says, yeah. I said, oh my gosh. I said, I have a boy in my class. The Rainbow Connection is his favorite song. Would you ever consider coming to class and playing the song and letting him sing it? He says, of course. 3 weeks later, he came to the class and we did it. This is one of the great, this is just, talk about serendipitous. That's just beyond synchronicity. So having that ability for Stevie to sing the song is a connection, a musical connection for him that for our society, they view that as, oh, wow, that's great. Look at Stevie. He can sing the Rainbow Connection. Wow, nobody ever knew. You know what? That's a beginning point. That's a starting point to realizing that if, cognitively speaking, so the way I look at this, Andrew and Clyde, is that if my job is to expose the talents of individuals, whoever comes before me, and building their self-esteem so that they feel really good about the talent we've exposed, then the next job is for the academia, for the people from Harvard and Dartmouth and Yale and Princeton to tell us cognitively, if this person cognitively can remember the words, remember the rhythm, sing it with an accompanist, and deliver that performance, cognitively there's so much going on that the people around them are not aware of.
Yeah.
So if they can do ABC, then the academia need to tell us what else can a person do who could do these things. There's another bunch of things they can do cognitively. Hence, they can get a job, for God's sake. They can benefit society, and society will have less of a burden.
Hence, they could be trained differently when they're younger and
Thank you.
prepare them for society later on, where they can
Absolutely.
be on their own.
And be less of a burden.
Been able to do with the agencies and so on? Have you tried to bring the results of your work to other people and show them that this is going on? And have you gotten anywhere with that stuff?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that there are, like everything else, we need to begin to affect a change with the people who believe in us and believe what we're doing. And we need some deep pockets because what they need, what the bottom line is, when you say, what have you found out? What I found out is they need a place to go every day that is for them. They need an art center. And in the video that I have online, that's what I say. We want to have a place where they can all come and call their own, call their home. That a place where we can unlock all those different, talents, so that this scenario exists. So that here's a person who now is, their parents have said, I got nominated for a Grammy Award last year by the families, by some of the family members, by Jay Willie, whose son I've worked with for many years, who is so kind to put me in, the group of people who's responsible for affecting a change in the children. And that to me is more important than anything, because that's truly winning an award, whether you win the actual award or not, because the people are recognizing you as a part of the transformation process in their child, and recognizing their child is special and really special. And I said to Karen one day, I came up with a mantra, because nobody wants, as many people, and I thank God for your program and for you and Clyde and for all the listeners who would put up with us, because no one really wants to hear us talk unless they have an interest in this, unless they know a child, or unless the child is theirs. But you know what? You don't have to have a child with special needs to be touched and moved by them. What you need to do is allow yourself to be moved by them. And so I said to Karen, one day I came up with a mantra. I said, Karen, I got it. She was going up the stairs at Arts for Healing in New Canaan. And she said, what is it? What is it? I said, when you open up your heart to a child or an adult with special needs, the most beautiful, powerful, and wondrous part of you is exposed. And what that really means is they have the power to bring out the best in us. The children you have worked with have brought out the best in you, and you are at your gold standard. You are an enlightened person as if you were never enlightened before, because they have the power to bring that out of you. Because Andrew, when you stepped in front of them, you wanted with the very greatest part of you to help them with every ounce that you have. And that is the power they have to bring that out of you. And how can a person who has that power be considered less? How?
Yeah.
Now, didn't Channel 7 also acknowledge you and do a special segment on your work?
It wasn't Channel 7. Well, 60 Minutes brought me to lunch trying to find a producer to do a spot, and Kevin Tedesco is just one of the nicest people. And it's very difficult, as Andrew said, it's very difficult to, us swimming upstream, so to speak. Teaching or reteaching, but looking for the gifts in an individual is a true global way, as Sonia put it, Sonia McNair, who was the strategic director at CBS, who is an amazing, brilliant person. She gave me her time, and she said, "What you're talking about is a global initiative. It's a global concept. It is applicable to people across the world." She said, "There are people who think that special needs children shouldn't be alive." And I said, "Well, there are people in this country who feel that way." And
Yeah.
and I mean, Andrea Bocelli's parents were told, "You better think twice about having this child, because this child is going to have some type of special needs," meaning that he was blind. He was born blind.
Yeah.
And think about Andrea Bocelli for a minute. I mean, could you imagine? So we don't look for the gifts. We don't look for the gifts.
Right.
We are the change. The change has to come from looking at the gifts in ourselves. We don't. If we had to count the gifts, we would be here all night for the rest of the week, counting the gifts, because we don't understand. We are not wired that way. But we need to start looking at the gifts, and we need to start understanding how precious and how profound those are, and that we have a profound meaning for being here. You guys have a profound meaning. I have a profound meaning for maybe touching a person that may not have understood or may not have contemplated something that we might have said today, and enlightening them in a way that they could. You don't have to be. Some of the people who I work with, the staff who I work with, bring these children to the bathroom. They help them in the bathroom to do everything. They are like angels. They're like nurses. They're like, how can you possibly have the gift to do that? Of course, we have gifts and talents, but they have different kinds of gifts, and we need those people to do what they do. And like Andrew said about policemen, who protect our very lives, who make nothing compared to what they should make, and these people make nothing compared to what they should make. So we need to start thinking about the gifts that we have, and the talents that we have, and the great gifts that have been bestowed on us, and start counting them.
Really is a whole culture change that has to occur regarding
Yes.
that, and sadly, the people that are using their influence in the performing arts are not necessarily using it or putting their energy in the right direction as far as being able to help people like this.
Absolutely.
I went to Israel last year, and one of the things, I had a trip to Palestine, and I met an area of Palestine where children who are born with handicaps or mental issues are told that they are to be left in the desert,
Wow.
away from society. That's actually going on in this world.
Absolutely.
Real. It's happening.
That's what Sonia was
It's all
talking about.
about fear and not understanding how to reach kids, how to reach people that have these issues. And music, Clyde and I have talked about this a million times, right? Music is the international language. Every time there is some sort of disaster in this world, the world turns to music. And it soothes them. It gets them out of their depression. It moves. How many times do you have deja vu? You think of something that happened in your life, and when a song plays,
Sure.
you sit there and you say, man,
Yeah.
that just hits me.
And Billy, your music is so spiritual and transformational, I understand that Barbara Streisand, whom I love, heard about one of your songs and contacted you. Can you talk about that for a minute?
Sure. The what's so interesting, Andrew, what's so powerful about what you just said is that music does have the power to do things. I mean, it can make people speak who cannot speak.
Right.
I mean, obviously, we prove that. Before I tell you that, I just want to say that when you study in graduate school, when you study education or special education, you study about Howard Gardner, who is a pioneer, and Mark Brackett from Yale, who is also the head of the Center of Emotional Intelligence. Many of these children have emotional intelligence. What does that mean? They know what is important. They are loving and amazingly gifted in the areas of emotional intelligence. And Howard Gardner mentioned all these different forms of intelligence, and that's what we see in this environment. We see multiple intelligences. We see musical intelligence, and sometimes the parents never understood because they don't view their children as intelligent. So yes, Andrew, it's a different culture change that we're talking about, but people like Howard Gardner didn't come here for no reason, and Mark Brackett, they didn't come here for no reason. So musical intelligence, this is where your intelligence is, JC.
Yeah.
This is where you're so smart. And JC's smiling because you've acknowledged it. You've given him something wonderful that's built his self-esteem. You know, you can draw. I have David, who's this amazing artist who draws brilliantly, perfectly, he's got autism, but he's a brilliant artist. David, how do you do it? How do you draw like this? And David's got a big smile on his face, acknowledging it, really bringing it out. So multiple intelligences, I just wanted to mention that. You get to see that in the environment where we are working. Multiple
and
intelligences.
then you just sit there and you wonder when science is going to figure out how to connect
That's my point.
the nodes,
Thank you.
because that's all it is. We're proving with dance, we're proving with song, music, we're proving with everything that you can connect, but we can't figure out how to sustain that connection.
That's right. That's exactly it.
And that's really,
But what we don't understand is how it benefits us. Now we always heard about the golden rule, right? Okay. So what? People say, so what? But this is the golden rule expanded. This is, why should I treat him the way I want to be treated? Why? I tell you why. Because it benefits you. Because when you open up your heart to a child or an adult, the most wonderful part of you is exposed. In other words, you can achieve the higher self that Maslow talked about, self-actualized, however you want to put it. You can achieve. And the other day, Michael Fitzpatrick, I was honored and blessed to see Ron and Blakely and Michael Fitzpatrick. And Ron Blakely said something amazing. He said, what people don't realize sometimes is when a star or a performer is on the stage, they're in their moment.
their moment.
He said, but what they don't understand, this was brilliant. He
Right.
said, what they don't understand sometimes is that I'm in mine.
Right. He's in his moment. That's right.
I was going to jump through the screen and hug him. He was brilliant. And so was Michael. It was brilliant.
Billy, he got me with and Clyde, I told Clyde this right after the interview. I said, what hit me was he came on in a time when it was difficult, but did you see, even at that time, he would not bash anyone publicly.
Yeah. No.
But he said that he understood the bigger picture. That to me is an example of what you can accomplish if you're willing to work with people and figure it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Just instead of the violence and the other stuff that has no place, it's not going to work. It's just not going to work.
Absolutely. And Michael's story was just amazing. Just
Michael's
spellbound.
an incredible character.
Spellbound. I was spellbound. I was just like riveted,
And I would love to have a reunion with everybody. That would be wonderful.
Be wonderful. So
This stuff.
at the end of the day, you know what? You don't have to do what we do. You don't have to do what sometimes the staff does and bring somebody with a severe disability. Henry Viscardi, by the way, said that he didn't believe in disabilities. He said, "I don't believe in disabilities." He started the Center for Learning Disabilities out in Long Island. He says, "I believe that we all have a different level of ability," and that is a part of the culture change that you're talking about.
Yes.
Because if you think about everybody as having a different level of ability, then look at what some children with special needs can do, and they only have 3 or 5% of our ability, and look at what they can do. In other words, everybody knows that Mozart was a great genius. Everybody knows that Monet and Manet and Gauguin and all these people were great geniuses. Look at what they did. But imagine what they would have done if they only had 20% of their ability. So to think about their ability as a gift, so then everything is a gift. And these people remind me, every day I work with them, they remind me that everything we have, we take for granted. The ability to lift your hands. When Katie tries to put a wooden spindle, a wooden block rather, over a spindle because she has cerebral palsy, and Terry Harrison, the amazing occupational therapist, is telling her to put it over the spindle, and she rejoices when she does it. I did it. I said, "This is unbelievable." I said, "You're amazing." I said, "How do you do it? How do you do it?" And the fact that we can do this is an amazing gift.
A little bit louder. Ready? I found the love. You sing it. You sing the A. Love. That's the note you sang. Go ahead. Ready? Ready? 1, 2. Sing it. I found the love. That's it. All right. Yeah. Way to go, Kevin. Woo! Yeah, baby. You got it going on, man. Here we go. Here's the note right here. Ready? It's the love. I found the love. You were hearing the note. You were hearing it, weren't you? Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's great, Kevin. Wonderful. You were hearing the note. Wow, and you sang it. That's amazing. Great job. I'm so glad you came today. Wow. Fantastic. That was him. That was him. That was you. Do it again. That was you. Yeah. Yeah. Woo-hoo-hoo.
You know
So,
what?
Clyde, I don't think I answered your question about Barbara Streisand, did I?
Get back to it. We'll get back to it.
I think we recognize we're blessed also, because we have an opportunity or a calling that we got
Yes,
to do this work.
it's a calling. It's a calling.
I
God bless you
get
for calling.
great satisfaction. In fact, in today's world, it's the only thing that really satisfies me at all. When I get
Absolutely.
a call from one of my past students that need my help, or tell me they're doing so well, or whatever it is, I know that I've reached them.
Well, when I was
Everybody that they worked with.
when I was at one of the Josephine Foundation events, I was completely in disbelief about how many organizations and schools you had given to and helped. I just couldn't believe it. Was one after the next. I was just like, this is unbelievable to hear that many different schools and different scholarships and different ways of helping children and helping people that you had. I was right on. I mean, I was just about to cry. I was so overwhelmed, and they were just. It was very, very moving.
But you get very choked up when you're up there too.
Oof.
It's difficult to.
Well, because giving, that's what I'm saying. Giving is the greatest thing that brings out the higher self. That's what happens when you do it, when you open up your heart, that people don't understand. And even if you're in finance, you can donate to a program, okay, or something that we do, and the next time that you go to do your deal, you're going to do it in a different way because you've opened up your heart. Okay, you've opened up your pocketbook or your wallet, and you've opened up your heart. to children or to some cause, and you're going to do your deal in a different way. And that's my point.
Billy,
What's in it for me?
we got to bring you back, and all I want to do when we bring you back is talk about. We'll feature the organization. Maybe we'll go in there and actually talk to some of the students. That would be great, so people can really get a real firsthand understanding. You know, the other thing we're dealing with is fear. People are afraid. They're afraid to see what they're going to see when we do what we do with kids like this. They because they're just not, they weren't brought up to understand it. And
Yes.
people fear what they don't know.
Yes.
It makes it that much tougher. So when we're going to have you come back, this has
Hey,
been
Andrew,
exceptional.
before we split,
Yep.
can we get Billy to play maybe a little piece of Cadillac Man? One of my favorite.
Wouldn't that be something? If he would grace us,
Sure. Sure.
and then we'll talk a little bit about bringing you back.
Clyde, how much do you want to hear?
Give me a verse and a chorus.
Okay. So this is a true story. Andrew could probably relate to this, being from an Italian background, and my grandfather and grandmother were the most loving people I had ever known in my life. I could never do anything for them, and I felt very much like, what could I ever do for them? I'm only, a young kid growing up. And one day it came to me that at the time we were young, the biggest car, the most important car was a Cadillac. And I said, that's what I'll do it. Because only strange people drove Mercedes at that point. That's how old we are. But
Right, the caddy.
so I said, someday I'll buy him a Cadillac. And then I finally wrote the song. So and I finished it. John Van Epps, who's a great producer and writer and friend, helped me finish it because I got stuck. Because he said, of course you got stuck because you wrote some of the greatest lyrics I've heard in 30 years. So here's a little bit of Cadillac Man. Always wanted to buy my grandpa a great big Cadillac with shiny wheels and lots of chrome. Sit in the back and watch him drive. I don't know where I got this plan. It just seemed like Grandpa was a Cadillac man. Worked so hard, jack of all trades, the pride of Local 59. Sometimes late at night, he'd sneak away and take me for a ride, and we would drive. And he'd tell me old jokes and I'd laugh every time he began. He was a Cadillac man. How he'd sit and play his mandolin, I swore the sounds came from an angel's hand. I was just a little boy. To me, he was Superman. I'll leave you with that.
Yeah, that's something special.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely something special. Well, Billy, we're going to bring you back hopefully in the very near future. I hope we can get things back to normal where you can get there and get your personal contact so you can continue to do all the great work that you've been doing all along.
Well, thank you so much. It's an honor. It's an honor for all the things that you do and for all the children and all the blessings. It's just a great honor. And Clyde, I love you, man. You're just, you're an amazing, you're a philosophical genius and a great musician and a great producer and multi-talented, just like Andrew. And you guys are awesome. Awesome. You're awesome blessings.
Billy, thanks a million. We'll be in touch.
Thank you so much.
Once again, folks, a big time thanks to our special guest and the people that work with Mr. Billy Ayers for giving us an inside look of the wonderful program that Billy has in the Northeast to help the children with special needs. Don't forget to follow the Josephine Foundation on our Facebook page and our Instagram account to stay advised of all of our events coming and our partner events going forward. On behalf of my co-host, Mr. Clyde Ballard, our producer, Mr. Gio Vitozzi, and myself, peace, strength, and love until we see you next week on Odds and Ends, Life Entertainment, Theater, and the Arts. Good night, everybody.
And stay bright.